Hello, and welcome to episode number 47 of the 1-5. I'm your podcast hostess, Trisha Lewis, the self-designated tech goddess, and I will be coming to you weekly in this audio podcast format with great EdTech tools, tips, and tricks. I'm back after a short hiatus, but with everything going on, I just could not fit the podcast into my schedule. But I'm happy to be back, and let's get started. In this week's episode, I will be talking about my experience at the Google Champions event that was held in Sunnyvale, California. So let's go back to the beginning. This past summer, I took an online course about Chibitronics. If you want to learn more about Chibitronics, check out my podcast episode number 39 about that. Anyhow, after a Zoom session, I opened up my email and saw the announcement about the Google Champions event and the link to apply. Without a thought, I just went to the application, made my little video, and sent it off thinking I would never get selected for a thing like this. Well, fast forward to early August, and I'm on Twitter, or X if you call it that now too, and seeing many people sharing that they got the email saying that they were selected for the event. I had not gotten an email, and I was kind of let down, but scrolling on Twitter more, I read that people received the email and it was in their junk folder. So I opened up my mail, went into junk, and there it was. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the irony that an email from Google that was put into junk inside of Gmail. But I read the email and quickly got started on making my travel plans. With all the busyness of the start of school and all that goes with that, the time flew by from August to the end of September, and it was time to head towards Minneapolis to the airport to catch my flight to San Jose. The flight was great and landed in San Jose and got to the hotel and was greeted by a gaggle of Googlers all checking in. Now for the event. The event was a jam-packed 2.5-day extravaganza. We had long days, but they were filled with fun and collaboration. There were large group assemblies, about 120 champions from U.S., Canada, Mexico, and South America, and 30 Googlers from around the world were at the event. We had small breakout sessions and so many meals and fun activities, a small tour of the Mountain View Googleplex, and so much more. It was an amazing event, and I was super proud to represent the state of Wisconsin at this inaugural event. When the Google event was over, I had arranged for myself to take a little tour around Sunnyvale and Cupertino, and I found myself at One Infinite Loop and Apple Park. Wow. Such a fun experience to visit the motherships of Apple. On the way back, I had a very early flight, and it happened that the flight was delayed due to a faulty battery on the emergency megaphone. But after 3 hours, that was taken care of, and I was on my way back to Minneapolis. A short 4.5-hour drive home, and my time at the Google Champions event has now turned into memories that I will have for a lifetime. Do you want to learn more about EdTech in your learning environment? Check out my website, trishalewis.com. There you can explore my resources, subscribe to my weekly email newsletter, and contact me. Don't want to miss any episodes in the future? Be sure to go to your favorite podcast app and search for the 1-5 podcast and subscribe. Feel free to review and rate and let me know what you think of this podcast. Keep in mind the information shared on this podcast may take additional clearances from your tech department to work properly in your district, school, or classroom. I have vetted all the information shared on this podcast and is available and or correct on the date the podcast is originally published. But remember that services, sites, or products can change or become unavailable without a lot of notice. Thanks for listening, and join me next week for another episode of the 1-5.